take any day of my life, but a liar I will not.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2. I just want to give a disclaimer that we will be changing up the timeline a little bit. Part 1 will stay part 1, but part 2 is technically going to be part 3 because this part is a little bit more important than what happened in between. But I will say that in part 3, but this one needs to be said first. Beginning of October, I was taking part at performing arts event as a part-time photographer. This is now the last night of the event, which is the gala night. My little sister calls me crying. He kicked her out again, he hit her again, and I'm like, okay, and this kid is crying, and I'm like, no, it's fine. I look at the team coordinator and I answer this kid, I'll come sort it out, shop. I excuse myself. One of the photographers walk out with me, waiting outside the Civic Center in Rustenburg. She's like, "Are you fine?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually angry." Thank you, Mix, for waiting with me, by the way. She goes. 10 minutes later, my brother-in-law shows up because I told her, send him to come fetch me so he can go and I can go sort this out. But while waiting for him before he shows up, I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because this has been reoccurring since forever, and I'm kind of tired of this. And I sat there, I'm like, you know what? I'm a pull the ultimate Uno reverse card. Great stuff. My brother-in-law picks me up. I tell the kid, hey, yo, listen, I don't need you to do much. I just need you to be a witness, and I need you to make sure that man don't put my head in a wall, because he will. Great stuff. We cruise on over to the apartment complex where they stay. I call. I don't even give a warning. I'm like, please open up. I'm here in front. Great stuff. We park. I breathe. I also have a 14-minute, 59-second voice recording of the confrontation, by the way. Great stuff. My stepdad comes out, 2 little girls following him. I'm like, great stuff, okay. And then I'm like, where's my mother? He's like, who? Where's my mother? Oh, it's like, great stuff. We go inside. I see someone else in the living room. This is, bear in mind, my mother called my little sister about like less than like 30 minutes ago, crying that this man just hit her. Why is there people in the apartment? Why is there children in the apartment? Great stuff. I asked for the area to be cleared. This guest apparently that was here is Oma's friend. Oma is my stepdad's mother. She is nosy and she spreads gossip. And she is liking specifically all the smallest man who ever lived content, which was about her son, which is insane. I don't know if she's being spiteful or she just can't comprehend what is happening. Anyway, everyone leaves the apartment. I go to the main bedroom. I see this woman. She's crying. I will sound a little harsh in this next bit, ne? But you guys have to understand this relationship with my mother, ne? And what we have gone through and how many times I have tried and helped her. I'm listening to both sides. This man is blocking the door. I tell him to back up. I don't like that he's coming nearer to me and to get out of the door. He's like, no, why? And I'm like, because I don't like it. Back up. Get out of the doorway. My brother-in-law is also still standing behind him. Great stuff. I listen to my mom. I listen to him. She tells me, no. But I know they're both crazy and they're both lying. Whatever they tell me, she's lying, he's lying. I'm just make sure that her head doesn't get busted in. Because my sister called. Anyway. Listen, great stuff. She's like, no, he hit me. I look at him, I ask, you hit her? He didn't answer. Ask him again, did you hit her? He's like, yeah, but ooh, he was so proud of that, yeah. Look at her. I'm like, why are you still doing this? Because it was about pills. It's about pills. She's like, no, She's telling her little lies, great stuff. He goes out. My brother-in-law is still in the doorway. I listen to her. Great stuff. Look at her. You are going back. I am not doing this anymore. You are going back to Thailand. I've been dealing with this for years. Someone is going to die if you don't go. So leave. And if you don't leave, I will make sure not to speak to you again. And I'll make sure that my little sister doesn't speak to you again. And guys, I know that sounds horrible. But you did not know what I had to deal with that woman. Great stuff. She's sniffling. I'm like, Mama, I love you. But we can't be doing this anymore. I'm doing this for the sake of you and my little sister. Great stuff. She accepts. Great stuff. You're going back? Yeah, I'm going back. Great. I go outside. I tell my stepdad the great news. You are sending her back. I do not have the financial means to assist you, but you are sending her back. I am tired of this. You guys have been doing this for the last forever. I can't anymore. And then he wants to be like, you're adding these things. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear it. You are sending my mother back. And if you touch her again, I'm going to tell everybody in this complex that they must keep their children away from you. That man turns white. He stares at me. And then he wants to argue. Now you listen here for me. Pointing inside in my mother's direction, using her as an argumentative point. I've been sitting with this for the last 8 years, I said. I did not care. You send my mother back. And after you send it back, you guys can do whatever you want. But if you touch my mother again, I'm going to tell everybody here to keep the children away from you. Great stuff. He looks at me. Go. Do it. On voice recording as well. Before I go inside and I tell my mom, he will not touch you. He will not touch you. If he does, you call me. I will call you tomorrow. Because at that time, I could not physically house her. My sister could not physically house her. No one could physically house her. Because she cut herself off from everybody. Great stuff. I go next door to go find out what's happening because apparently the neighbors dragged into it. Because she accepted a package. That's what it was. They were fighting about a package that was actually meant for my mother. I'm like, hi. Yeah, no, I am daughter. Could you maybe explain what's happening to me? And then she's like, yeah, no, she explained to me that she received a package that wasn't hers, that was actually my mother's. I'm like, you know, great stuff. That sounds very familiar. Don't worry. And then she's like, yeah, but I don't know what happened because your mother, like, accused me of being, like, your stepdad's, like, your stepdad's girlfriend. And I'm like, no, don't worry. This man has a face. That's why she thinks like that. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, he has a face. And I'm like, can I take your number? And I took her number. And then before I left, I'm like, oh, keep your kids away from him. She's asking me, what? I'm like, keep your kids away from him. Then I waddle my way out. And then now my brother-in-law follows me. We drive out. No, before we drove out, my stepdad goes in that auntie's apartment. It's like, what did she say? She's not gonna tell you what I said. She ain't gonna tell you, oh no, your daughter said we must keep the kids away from you. She just told her no, she asked me about the package. Great stuff. I get in the car with my brother-in-law. We go. I debrief everything with my little sister. I actually laughed in the car as well because I'm like, 20 years. I've been waiting 20 years to do that. I wasn't initially going to put it on TikTok. I swear. I was just going to scare him by telling him that I'm going to report him in Badbako. He also, the next day, he made up this lie that child welfare stopped at the apartment complex because someone apparently called. And he said, thank you, Nui. Thank you so much for what you did. I just want to let you know what you did wasn't wrong. You are full of yourself. Liar. Because if something did happen, your ass would be in jail. Anyway, so same night I debrief with my sister, and then she tells me something that like pushes me over the edge. You guys push me over the edge, and I was like, you know what? Because I did send him a text saying that I do not want to do anything with you. Do not come near me. You make a plan to get my mother out of here. I'm tired of this. If you don't stop, I will then talk about it, which I am. After when my sister told me about him making comments about my body, I was like, I told you. I'm not crazy. So, that's how we got here. I've been a little paranoid for the last month or so because of him. My head's been eating myself alive. I feel like I'm less funny. A lot has changed. And, my mother has been bombarding me with either threats or just being nasty and horrible, while that man sits back and does nothing. Because I don't know what's happening with him. But a lot of people who's supposed to know knows now. And that was the point. Part 3 will come, but this is the part that had to come out. So I decided to do what I do best and run my mouth. Because Nui is an annoying person.